Hello and welcome back to Morning Thunder. I'm your host, Bobby Howard. With me, Jamison Maxwell. Jamison, that was technically a game of basketball we saw in Game 6. And, frankly, felt like a bit of a rerun from Game 4. Because the Thunder lose in tremendous fashion, once again in San Antonio for the second straight time. Tight first half, not a tight first half. But a first half where you're around 10 points, arm's length, and then you just get a massive uppercut in the third quarter, and it's curtains at that point.
Yeah.
But more importantly, in the words of Zaza Pachulia, we're going to Game 7.
Yeah, the Wemby-less minutes hurt. Man, they sub Wemby out and then they go on this huge run and we can't even score. It's like waiting for this game all day. You're so excited, and then you just get a 3-point barrage at the beginning, and then just so little hope. It's just I feel cheated. This series has been so good, and then it's just come on, at least make Game 6 fun. And I feel so blah.
Yeah, I mean it's like opening up your Christmas present and it just socks. Like nothing but socks, or I don't know, trying to open up a box of cereal and it's only raisins. It sucked. This game sucked. And I mean, both of us weren't exactly optimistic after Game 5. We love the effort from the Thunder, but both of us kind of didn't think they'd win Game 6. I personally didn't expect another blowout after what we saw in Game 4. How much do you read into the blowout aspect of it all? Does it worry you, or is it just one of those games that got away?
No, I'm not worried about it at all. We're a different breed whenever we go home. We've responded to blowouts in the playoffs on multiple occasions, and we've done just fine. We just did one 2 games ago. I'm not concerned about this Thunder team to respond adequately and get what they need to, and I think that we've already saw in Game 5 the tides turned in terms of role players going out there and making big shots. Devin Vassell sucked in Game 5. In Game 6, he was unstoppable from the three-pointer in that first half and was really hurting us. We would hopefully see one of our role players, like an Alex Caruso, pop up and do something like that, because Caruso, despite maybe 1 or 2 shots, I mean, this isn't what we've seen from him this whole series.
Yeah, I mean, all the old adages about your role players playing better at home than they do on the road are very true in this series. We've seen it game after game after game, and this was no exception. Across the board, the team kind of stunk. Shai only had 15 points. Nobody was really able to step up and really give you any sort of an edge. And, it's just one of those games. I said it after Game 4. I said it after Game 5. You're never as bad as you are, and you're never as good as you are. And those sort of things could really flip a series. Desperation, home crowd versus road crowd, all of that are, I mean, incredibly impactful factors. And not just this series, but we've seen the Thunder, this has become a real trend now. The third straight really, really brutal Game 6 victory or loss in a situation to close out a team on the road. It happened in Denver, it happened in Indiana, and it happened tonight in San Antonio. And OKC just hasn't been good at closing out teams on the road when they know they have that Game 7 in the back pocket. And just a brutal game.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, things that we should definitely talk about from this game is one is I think a lot of people are pushing if the Thunder are going to win this game, it's going to be Shai, and Shai just didn't have it today. And the reality of it is, it's just this Spurs team is so damn good at guarding him. They are just so good. So it's really at this point, and I think we kind of have similar kind of reservations with Chet, and Chet's kind of found his moment. But it's Shai will go out there and get his to some certain point, but there's going to be a plus or minus here where I feel like you're going to find either Shai, get 25 points and do decently, or he's going to be in the 15-point range, especially if he's not getting to the free throw line. It's really going to have to come from other people in Game 7.
Yeah. And, if the other players aren't playing well, then you just continue to lock down on Shai, and that never opens up, and it just, that's kind of part of the formula of what the Spurs have been doing the entire series is make everybody else beat you. And they just flat out haven't in the past 2 road games. And that's just not a winning formula, and you know that sort of thing has to shift in Game 7.
Yeah, do you feel like watching Shai? I mean, his shots that he's getting off in the mid range, it just doesn't look like his normal mid range just because of how close those hands are in his face and how close they are to the ball as a defender. It just looks a little bit different. It makes me think like, this Shai ISO gets to the end of the shot clock and then he goes up and he gets a tough mid range. I'm like, I think about that like, yo, we really have some great offense whenever he's done that in the past. In this series, it's just like, I want the ball moving more and getting to our guys on the outside and making Shai a distributor. I feel like that's when we've been at our best.
Agreed. Yeah. No, I mean, he has not looked good, really as an ISO creator, as anything like that. Like, he was even bad, I thought, in Game 5 through the first half, got into his rhythm quite a bit in the second. But, this has not been the step up and take it type of Shai performance. And, I just, it's been very uncharacteristic from him. I think a lot of that's the Spurs defense, but it is just really uncanny just how off he's been.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you'd expect it to be a little bit better next game, but at the same time, it's like whenever you can't let him get to the cup, that takes away a significant part of his game. And then it would be like, okay, he's got to hit his mid range. If he's not getting to the cup on Wemby, how is he going to get to his mid range? Whenever you're playing against one of the better wing defenders that we have right now and their length, it's going to be very easy, a lot easier to guard a guy like Shai whenever oh, he's not going to get by me to the cup. I can just play into his chest and then play the jump shot. And then if he even bumps me and goes into that fadeaway, I know my hand's going to be right there. And I think that's what's going on right now. And it's a testament to Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Carter Bryant. But at the same time, it's just like the Spurs defense as a whole with Wembanyama as the anchor.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's an excellent defense, like you said, Wemby as the anchor, really preventing anything easy from coming inside, but also like, those perimeter defenders, incredibly physical, incredibly tough, beautiful defense. And you just got to give them credit. They're fighting their ass off. And
hmm
they kick it into a different gear at home. And, I got to say, getting home court advantage, absolutely enormous in this one. Could you imagine how bad we'd be feeling if this was going to San Antonio in Game 7? We'd be
No, we wouldn't be going to San Antonio in
no.
games. The series would be over.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, let's say hypothetically Thunder win Game 6 and then have to
Yeah,
go into a winner take all Game 7. This would be more of a, well, we'll see. Anything can
yeah.
happen. But it's
I feel
yeah.
like we'd be really on the struggle bus if we started off the series 2 games in San Antonio. And I mean, it makes you think out loud, like that game 1 game. My God, just what if we could have just gotten that one? Life would be so much easier. Why did Wemby have to hit the Steph shot? And it just makes me have so much pain, like that we have to go through all of this.
It's it's funny because, I mean, we had to do this twice last year, keep in mind. What if Aaron Gordon missed that shot? What if Halliburton missed that shot? And, you pay for it later down the line. And here we are, Game 7. This team's been here twice before. They've been incredible both times. I'm interested to see what they have. I do want to say, Jalen Williams did return. Didn't look like himself. Any thoughts on that, Jamison?
I
Didn't make
don't
a
even
shot.
want I don't
Only
even want him
attempted
to
one
play.
shot. I mean, it felt like calisthenics from what you saw. Do you even try to play him in Game 7?
And like I feel like you have to with the amount of rotation players that we have right now, and especially how limited we are in terms of guys who can go out and get their own shot. But in terms of just like the ball movement and the rotations around the ball, I think this season we've already seen that his confidence in his shot compared to what he was, before the wrist injury is completely gone. Like quick trigger, catch it with a couple feet of space. He's not taking those shots anymore. And whenever you put him out on the court and you have him out with another guy like Lugan Stort or somebody out like that, it just clogs it even more. So he's gonna have to be hyper aggressive, and he can't just be a guy that's on the court. And it got to whenever I was watching this game, the way that he played out there, I would have rather never even seen him.
Yeah, just not good. And I'm not dogging on JDub there. This is not his fault by any means. I appreciate that he went out there, gave it an effort. Yeah,
I just
just
feel
just a
weird
tough
though,
spot.
It's like we talked about it, like, we put Jalen Williams out there if we're in a part of desperation. But if we truly thought that he was ready and this was his game to come back, then why is he coming off the bench? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. You've got to bench Dort at this point, or you've got to bench McCain, and you put in JDub into the starters if you think he's ready. If you didn't think he was ready and you feel desperate and you need to go out there, then what was the rotations? What were the minutes? And what was your game plan with him out there? Because he was just a body, it seemed like. I thought that was a little bit reckless. And I don't know how much of that is game plan versus I don't know how much that it is just like how the game fell into J-Dub's lap. I just didn't see any little bit of positive in watching anything from him play out there. And there are a couple plays where he went up and like the way he moved, I was like, oh God, like that puts strain on a hamstring. Like, is he okay? Like I
Yeah.
was like, it got me feeling really nervous.
And there was that clip NBC showed of him, kind of trying to loosen up a little bit in the hallway, and I don't know, but
Yeah, hell no. That's
yeah,
that's frustrating to me that I just don't think that a J-Dub without the explosion and confidence to be at his 100% right now is just not going to be a good contributor for us because that's what makes him so special. Having that burst, having that quick step on the defensive end where he can get a steal or like getting cross guy and getting to his mid-range jumper. That's where he's great right now, but he doesn't have it. And the old Jada before the wrist injury, like you could say, like, hey, this guy is a potential to be a 40% 3-point shooter. And even if he didn't have a good hamstring, you put him in the corner, you put him on the wing next to Shai, and I believe in his shot. Right now, there's just too much going on in this guy's head that I just don't think right now he's at a good spot from what I've seen. And maybe the cobwebs will come off, and this was just a way to like dip his feet in the pool. And then maybe in game 7, whenever he plays, we'll see a little bit more of a high performance.
yeah, maybe so. And I will say, I feel like the shot has been a little bit better in the spots we've seen, since he's returned from the Miami hamstring injury specifically, but he just hasn't had consistent enough minutes to get in that rhythm, and especially tonight, I don't know, it just didn't seem right out there. So
Yeah, he's just not confident enough with the shot. It is like his volume is exceedingly low, and there's a lot of opportunities I feel like that he has to go out there and shoot the three, and he's just not doing it. Like I'm just like looking at his 3-point volume throughout like this calendar year, it's mostly like twos and threes of 3-point attempts. That's not going to cut it right now with the way that the San Antonio Spurs are playing. The way we are going to succeed in this game is we need Alex Caruso, Jay Will. We need props to Case in this game. Kaysen was stellar. Case and Wallace, these guys hitting these big threes and associate with just Shai getting his every once in a while, Chet getting his every once in a while. That's what we need. And I think Jalen Williams, the star Jalen Williams, the all NBA guy that we know him to be, I think we need to change our mindset the way he is right now in the series and view him. He's going to have to play like a role player. So he needs to find a role if he wants to succeed with his minutes right now.
yeah, so tough environment to try to come back into in San Antonio. Clutch, must win, not must win situation for them. High intensity environment. That's a tough situation to come back to. So if you do see JDub, hopefully, the game 7. I mean, that's not exactly much easier now that I'm saying. Now that those words are coming out of my mouth, I'm like, oh God. We'll see how it goes, but being at home will help.
Yeah, you got to put him in those
hope.
lineup. I would want him in the no Shai lineup. If we're sitting there, like where I think we've been okay with them, but there's a part of me that whenever I watch him, I'm like, well, still don't know about the creation, but good on you, Jared McCain, for give it a go. I would want to try J-Dub in those spots and see what we can do. Now, I do understand that if he goes out there and he's going to be the creator, they're going to put a really good defender on him. It's still going to be tough on him. But I think right now, if you want to succeed with J-Dub, I think, and you're going to play him off the bench, that's the role that I want you to put him in.
Yep, agreed. Because that's the biggest thing we're missing from him, I think. Or the biggest thing we're missing on this team is, ball handling, creation, that sort of stuff. So having him just kind of focus on that only rather than being sort of the Vitruvian man, Mr. Everything player that he is standard when he's healthy. I think I'm with you. I think that's got to be his main focus. All right, Jamison, Game 7 on Saturday night. You know, people say it's the two best words in sports, and I know we're not feeling that right now after just getting shellacked. Yeah. Well, Jamison, you are the same man who said that I just love the feeling of the playoffs. I love feeling the stress, feeling the angst. I don't disagree with you either.
Bro, I'm working on Saturday, man. I'm pissed.
That's right. I forgot about that. Dude, that
Yeah, it's like
sucks.
I worked on Game 7 in the NBA Finals, and here I am, Game 7 of this. Screw this. This wasn't even a shift I was supposed to have. This is something that I had to pick up for somebody. But that's just how life is. It's unfortunate. I might go rogue on that game and just like go off the grid, which will be really hard to do with my job. Because I need my phone for a lot of things, but I think I can do it. Go off the grid and just not hear any social media and just watch it on my own pace, which is going to be really weird.
So, how would you even do that? We'll talk offline about how
Peacock,
how
and I just paused that puppy on Peacock. So there I am.
just
Yep.
just pause it on Peacock.
Don't if you think that you are special enough in my life to be on my do not disturb, do not text me during the game or in the immediate vicinity about your thoughts on the game. I will be angry at you.
Jamison, you say that, but you got to realize we all know your dad, and your dad's just gonna be like, "Oh, Jamison, what a game! Like, can't believe blah 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 blah."
Dad, you're coming off the do not disturb list.
You got like, yeah, no, you need someone to be like the surrogate texter in case something bad happens.
Yeah,
you know,
who's my doorman?
Yeah, it's that sucks that you won't be able to watch it, but yeah, that really blows. But it's going to be one of those special nights at Paycom Center. Saturday night, this is the first weekend home game that the Thunder have had playoff-wise since this iteration have started making the playoffs. So in the 3 playoff runs, you know, from 24, 25, and now 26, this is the first time they have played on a Friday night or a Saturday night at home. So Paycom will be rocking. This will be an incredible environment. Prediction, Jamison? You still sticking with Thunder in 7?
I don't think I am. I don't think I am. I'm too nervous, man. I think that it's gonna go to who's gonna make the more shots, and I think that the Spurs right now, I believe in their ability to be shot creators and make 3-point shots than us. I understand we'll be at home. It's just I just this offense that we have, I've seen it too many times in these past three or 4 games where we've just gone cold. And I just think that you can lose a game really quickly like that. Don't mean to be the pessimist, but it's just like, I also said that Thunder were going to lose in 6 earlier, so who cares what I say?
Fair. And I think to me it's tricky when the lion's share of games we've seen, I mean, you know, 3 out of the past 4 have been in San Antonio. And, you know, it's easy to be like, well, we've seen kind of more of the bad Thunder than the good Thunder recently. But, you know, in Paycom Center, outside of that game 1, the Thunder have looked significantly better, I feel like, in 2 and 5. So we'll see. They know how to do it. They've been here before. I think it's going to be just a banger of a game. I don't see this one
3.5
being
is the line right now, Bobby. That's like the lowest line we've had at a home game for Oklahoma City in the hot minute. Well,
Yeah.
a full strength. Well, we're not really full strength, but like, you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that's tight. That's tight. It's going to be I think it's going to be a great basketball game. I'm going to trust the Thunder to get it done in 7. Been there before. They just find a way to execute, find a way to get it done in front of a raucous home crowd. But by no means is this an auto win. Like, nobody is thinking this. You shouldn't be thinking that. It's going to be an absolute test, an absolute challenge. All the chips out on the table. Yeah, it's going to be one for the ages. But yeah, very excited to see how it pans out. The Thunder have never lost a Game 7 at home, by the way. So in 4 attempts? Yeah, 4 attempts. 2 of which were the Grizzlies, and then the other were the Nuggets and the Pacers. So we'll see how it goes. But Jamison, I know we ain't going to recap after Game 7 because after Game 7 you won't even know what have happened. But we will talk after that at some point. We're going to recap at some point, either you or me and Ford or whoever. But it's a big one. This is why you love basketball, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I did say that I do love just the game and the nerve of it and everything. I think I'm just mad because I wanted it to be over right now. I'm just being selfish. It's gonna
Yeah,
be a stellar game. I'm happy for everyone in Oklahoma City is gonna get to that one and be loud and have a good time.
yeah. I'm sure you would have rather been, in Paycom Center or in, back at hell, even back at home in front of your 3 TVs. You would have just either would have been a better situation than that. So
Amen.
that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening, especially after the brutal loss. Look, it's going to be a big one on Saturday. So y'all got to go. Go to the link in the description and get yourself some 74C beef and pork. Use promo code Bobby for an extra 5% off. Look, I can't guarantee that the Thunder are going to win Game 7, but at the very least, could have some damn good beef, some damn good pork, make a little bacon in the morning, make a full day out of it. Get the full spread, and save 5% off with promo code Bobby. So, all right. For me and Jamison, this has been Morning Thunder. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good weekend, everyone. And congratulations to Ian and Rachel. Excited to celebrate y'all on Friday. So, anyways, Thunder up, everyone. Talk to you later. Thunder up. Good luck out there. Other sign off thing.